This is episode 112, My Wish for All of You in 2022.
Welcome to Alive by Design. My name is Blake Mallon, and we're here to bring you inspiring people, principles, and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. Open your mind and let's dive in. Hey guys, before you listen to the podcast, I just want to drop in and say I appreciate you for being here, and I'm super excited about this new Walk With Me series. These are solo episodes where I take some time in the middle of my morning run through the Santa Monica Mountains to share some inspired ideas and thoughts on my mind and heart. If you want to join me for any of these conversations live, you can catch me many mornings on my Facebook page, facebook.com/BlakeMallon.page. Would love to see you there. Love you guys. Enjoy the episode. Walk with me. Well, being that this is the first conversation we have had live for 2022, it's only fitting to say Happy New Year! Is it just me or is it crazy that it's 2022? Are you kidding me? I hope all of you listening, watching right now had an amazing holiday season. I hope you found some family time, created some moments that you'll remember, enjoyed just the overall energy of that time of year. And I hope you are as excited about turning the page, starting a new calendar, and launching in to what I know, declare it, claim it, is going to be an epic year for you all. You know, I don't remember a lot from my school days, but I always get reminded this time of the year of a term I learned in one of the philosophy classes. I believe it came from John Locke a while back, and the term is tabula rasa. Have you ever heard that term before? Tabula rasa. That means blank slate. And the philosophy, as you would guess by the definition, is really about how we come into this world as a blank slate. No memories, no meaning, no references, no experiences. And we get to craft that slate. And I bring that up because for me, when it comes to New Year's, although we can never go back to a complete beginning, for me, New Year's represents the energy of tabula rasa, right? A blank slate. A chance to pause for a moment, reflect for a minute, and decide what we want to bring with us into the next year. And you guys, that's the big thing that separates us as humans from every other species on the planet is we have the power of choice. We get to choose the experiences we hang on to. And although it may seem difficult at times, we do get to choose the things we want to let go. And ultimately, we get to choose the meaning we apply to everything that we go through in life. And ultimately, at least for me, the end of the year is a time of both reflection, right, looking back on the year, and vision, reinvention for the new year ahead. How many of you have certain rituals, maybe habits in the turning of a year, or at least spend some time maybe thinking a little bit about the previous 12 months and the 12 months ahead? And the conversation I want to have with all of you today, I think, is going to be a good one. It comes down to the perspective we choose to take when looking back to look forward. And how at the end of the day, in my opinion, there's one of two lenses we can choose to apply to the year we're coming out of and bring with us into the year ahead. I want to talk about those two lenses and leave you or challenge you with the choice to pick one of them for your own launch of 2022. So here's the two perspectives. I think at any point in our life, when we choose to look back at the series of circumstances that we have experienced, we can either choose to take a perspective of the world is happening to me, or we can choose the perspective of the world is happening for me. And that's a shift I will attribute to Tony Robbins. I believe he was the first person I heard that shift in not just language, but overall perspective from. And it's a powerful one I want to give to all of you in the context of looking back on 2021 and deciding how we interpret or attach meaning to everything that we've all gone through over the last 12 months, and how we can bring that from a position of strength to set us up for an amazing year ahead. You see, that shift to me to for me is really down to the core of falling into what I would call a victim mentality. And you guys know what that means, a victim mentality, where we can go back and especially in the last 12 months, they've been difficult on a world of levels. And it'd be very easy to find every single excuse or reason in the book and blame, justify, and step into a victim position of, oh, woe is me, oh, why me, oh, how come this is happening to me, which is not going to set us up to go where we want to go. Which is why I want to raise or elevate this conversation, because I think now more than ever we have to make that shift to it's not about being a victim. It's not about attaching meaning that things are happening to us at all times, but no matter the circumstance, the highs, the lows, the wins, the losses, the victories, the defeats, the mountains, the valleys, all of it at every moment is happening for you, as in to your benefit, as in by a greater design, as in for a reason, as in to move you in a direction you are meant to go. The things that we like and the things that we don't like, the things that we welcome and the things that we never thought would come, all of it, all wrapped up into one giant bowl, is happening just the way it's meant to for you. So as you're looking back on 2021, I'm sure there's things that you were working on that went amazingly well. What can you take from that into 2022? What are the victories? What's the energy? What are the wins, right, that are pushing you and building your confidence, putting you into momentum that you want to bring into next year? But it's not just the wins. Those are easy to find, easy to remember. Those are probably top of your mind on your 2021 recall. But when you dive down below the wins and you get to the things that didn't work, I want you to look at the things that didn't work last year through a lens of those happened for you just as well. For the things that didn't work out, what did you learn? What skills did you develop? What lessons are now a part of you? What mindset, mental fortitude did you expand or grow in order to get to the other side? Because you were here, you got to the other side. You made it through everything you went through last year. You made it. But as you look at the things that worked and the things that didn't work, apply the meaning of all of it was for you. You might look back at 2021 and there's certain decisions you made or paths you were going, and man, it was like a clear road. And if that was you, amazing job last year. If you got into a state of flow, if you got into a direction and things just started to unfold and started to work, I celebrate you. Keep running and keep going. Wind is at your back. But if you decided to go a direction and all of a sudden the world around you said that was not the way, I know it's frustrating. It sucks. And you can sit there and go, man, I tried. This is where I knew I wanted to go. It just couldn't work. The road was closed. I want you to look back on 2021, those moments through this lens, and you might realize that that was for you. Maybe all of those roadblocks were preventing you from going the wrong direction. No matter how much you wanted it, no matter how much you thought it was right, it wasn't meant to be. It was the wrong direction. Those detours were keeping you or preventing you from going a direction you were not meant to go. That's the meaning you should apply if you're thinking about how the world is working for you. It's like you're driving on a road trip. You got your map and nav. You're all set. Your plans are there. You're excited to get there. And boom, all of a sudden, giant road closure. You're going to be pissed, upset, a detour. This isn't the way. And you're aggravated in the moment, maybe aggravated for the trip. You find out later, though, a mile on the other side of that detour, the road had given out, was a giant cliff. Had you been driven that way and not stopped, who knows what would have happened? You weren't meant for that path. And no matter how much we want to fight it, no matter how much it sucks in those circumstances, you got to realize that sometimes the world has a funny way of preventing us from going where we're not supposed to go. So as you're looking back on last year on the new paths you tried to blaze, grab the ones that were easy, that were in a state of flow, but also appreciate the ones that stopped you from going to a place maybe you weren't meant to be. You're here right now because of the path you took last year, and here right now is exactly where you are meant to be. That's the lens of for you, not to you. There might be things in 2021 that you feel you lost, right? There's a lot of feeling of loss over last year. Whether that loss be economic, financial, career, business, tangible things, items. And you can look back, and it's easy when you have something and that thing you no longer hold to feel like it was taken from you. That's a to you, that's a victim. You got to learn to see the blessings even in the turmoil. Sometimes we have to lose things in order to restore the value that we put on other things. You know, sometimes we have to have things removed from us in order to start to appreciate again the things we still have around us. Sometimes we have to have things removed from us just to get our desire level back to where it's meant to be, to give you the fuel, the energy, the vigor, the ignition, the activation to go where you're meant to go. Sometimes you have to have that taken away to restore that inner battery. Sometimes we get too comfortable. We have too much. And it's easy to fall into a to-me state, obsessing over what you thought you once had, as opposed to realizing that maybe those things had to go to give you the power to move to your next level. Besides, nothing we ever have is really ours. It's just on loan. We give it all back eventually. Everything we have, you will eventually give back. So don't get too stuck to the things in your life. What about relationships? I know we're talking about opportunities or challenges or circumstances or things, but relationships, maybe there's new relationships that formed in 2021. Maybe there's new relationships, introductions right now that are mere acquaintances that are going to foster into new partnerships, new dynamics to propel you to a whole new level. Maybe those people came into your life in 2021. Isn't that exciting to know that there's new energy all around you? Those new energies bring new opportunities. Don't get so stuck in maybe the relationships that are no longer as strong as they once were. Maybe there's some people you had to let go. Maybe there's some people that got you where you are today, but aren't going to be the people that get you where you're going tomorrow. Not everybody that came with you can go with you, to quote Steve Harvey in an interview he recently did at one of our events. Not all those that came with you can go with you. So don't get so stuck on the people that have had to move on. That's just life. Everybody comes into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Most people for a reason or a season, very few for a lifetime. Precious and cherish and be grateful for those. All of them. Those that are here for a reason, and those that are here for a season, and those that are here for a lifetime. But sometimes we gotta let go in order to make room or space for what's new. See, guys, we can apply this lens or perspective of to you or for you to attach meaning to everything, no matter the circumstance. And I don't want to minimize anything anybody's been through in 2021. There's stuff. There is stuff. There is stuff. It's real stuff. There's heavy stuff. And I know some of you are going through heavier things than others. And I don't want to minimize the pain. I don't want to minimize the struggle. I don't want to minimize the weight of what 2021 maybe brought some of you, but I want to highlight that we get to choose the perspective or meaning we get to apply to it all. And that choice is going to ultimately dictate, is all of that a hole that you're going to be stuck in for another year? Or is that a springboard, a launching pad to propel you to where you're meant to go in 2022? See, it's an easy lens. In every circumstance, as you're looking back, just ask yourself, hey, if this were happening for me, what could this mean? And decide what meaning you want to tie, decide what you want to leave in last year, and decide what you want to grab and bring into 2022 with you. And use that as now a series of lessons, a series of principles, a collective experience that you get to bring forward. We never start from scratch. We always start from experience. And when you realize that we get to choose how we interpret that experience, you start to learn how to take all that experience and apply it to a maximum level to where you want to go. And to me, that's the perfect time of changing a year with that lens, looking back at all the dots. I think it was Steve Jobs that said something like, the dots don't make sense when you're going through them. The dots connect in the future. And that's the truth. As you're looking through 2021, a lot of the dots as you're going through it don't make sense. You know, I once heard someone say that don't judge the moment. When you're in the moment, don't judge the moment. You can't apply the good or bad meaning to a moment. You don't know. The dots don't connect now. The dots connect in the future. If you judge the moment in the moment, you label it as bad, you don't allow that moment to become something good. And all moments with enough duration, enough time can become something good, and we have that choice. Don't judge the moment. But as we turn the calendar looking back, it's a great time to connect some of the dots through the lens of all of this was happening for you as you go into 2022. And some of those dots you get to connect, and some of those dots will be that foundation to launch you into this year. So if you haven't had a chance, hey, go through your photos in your phone, start at January 1st, 2021, and just spend some time scrolling to help you with the recall and tie meaning to some of the moments that matter. Decide what you're going to let go, decide what you're going to bring, decide how all of it was designed just the way it was meant to for you, and use that as your springboard into 2022. Tabula rasa. It's a blank slate. We get to rebuild it the way we want, reinvent the way we want, start the year the way that we want, but it takes intention in order to do that. So that's my challenge for all of you when it comes to a perspective. My wish for all of you for 2022 is that we're able to use everything up until this point as pure preparation. What if 2021 was preparation for what comes next? What if the good, the bad, the wins, the losses, the people that came, the people that went, the struggles, the triumphs, the victories, the peaks, the valleys, all of it was pure preparation to give you exactly what you need? Exactly the mindset, exactly the skill set, exactly the opportunity, exactly the circumstance, exactly the desire, exactly the relationships, exactly what you need to do what you're meant to do. What if all of that was the case? And my sincere hope for all of you for 2022 is that you let go of the things that don't matter. Let go of the victim mentality. Let go of the world is happening to you mindset. Let go of the weight and the energy holding you down to all of that, and make the shift to it's happening for you. And start moving toward the things that really move you and move toward the things that really matter most. And I'll give you one last, my hope, right? My prayer, my wish for all of you. And for me, I believe there's one more shift. I think it all starts from a mindset of to you to for you. But I'll add one more layer. I really believe there's a shift of once you realize the world is happening for you, you'll eventually learn that really the world wants to happen through you. And through you is where you start to tap into not just the meaning of the opportunity you have and why you are here, but through you taps into the deeper reason, your purpose, your passion, your potential, the core of who you are and what you're meant to bring to the world and the gift that you have to give at any level, no size too big or no size too small. And my hope for all of you in 2022 is you make the shift for you and you start making the shift through you. And this becomes a year where you really contribute, you really give back in major ways the way you're meant to and the way you were created and designed to. That's my hope for you. So here's to a better you in 2022, a happy new year, an awesome launch of a brand new chapter, a tabula rasa, and the power to choose the meaning that we want to write on it to start a year. And I hope we have a lot of inspired conversations together. I hope you plug in. I hope this message resonated with you. If it did, let me know in the comments below or let me know in the podcast reviews. I appreciate all of those. I read all of them. If there's someone that came to your mind or your heart, someone that you know is ready to go to the next level this year, feel free to tag them or share. This is a gift that you're able to give. Until the next time we walk together, here's to launching 2022 and making this the best year for the next level of you. Thanks all of you guys for the time. Check out past episodes on the podcast. If you haven't, go subscribe. Leave a review. Those mean so much to podcasters out there. And I look forward to an awesome, awesome year with y'all. More conversations and inspired walk with me's. And look forward to this message becoming a reality for all of you this year. Take care, everybody. God bless.
Hey guys, one last thing. I'm super excited that this new podcast, The Live by Design, just went live. You see, I designed the show to bring you inspired thoughts and fascinating conversations with the world's most impactful people, to provide transformative principles and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. And I'd love for you to help me spread the word now. Simply subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on this platform right now. So if I've ever given you value, please do me this personal favor and go subscribe now. And if you found today's episode helpful in any way, make sure you share this with at least one friend today. You have the power right now to change someone's day. So send them a text message with a link to alivebydesign.com or simply copy and paste the link right from this podcast platform. Who's one person you know right now that you want to see succeed, that you want to see grow, that you want to see feel more alive? Shoot them a text with your largest takeaway from today and be a light in their day. And if you were referred here by a friend, make sure you shoot them a text back and say thank you. I'd love to hear from you directly on what you got from today's podcast. So if you're up for it, drop by my Instagram @BlakeMallon and shoot me a DM. And as always, thank you for showing up. I'm grateful for you, and I hope our time together today in some small way helped you feel a little more alive. Until next time.